Good morning, traders. I'm Dennis Dick.
And I'm Joel L. Connon. Welcome to Premarket Info.
It's a big day this morning here. We've got the jobs number coming out at 8:30. We're going to give you a quick preview, look at some technical numbers on your S&P and the top components. Going to analyze ZNGA. It's down 20% here today. They cut guidance, but the halt was a little bit too slow. Some quick traders were able to profit from it. And Hewlett-Packard downgraded Stern AG. I think they're a little bit slow to that one. Let's take a look quickly at the market here. It is tight this morning, Joel, and I also want to say happy birthday, buddy.
Yeah, you were mentioning all those big events, and I thought you were going to start out with the biggest event of all. Yeah, now got to start buying the 49 and 50 calls now. The 48's expired.
The 48's expired.
But at least the 48 puts weren't exercised, so I'm pretty happy. But, yeah, ahead of the unemployment number, we only got a 4-point range in the index.
Very tight here. Obviously, we knew it'd be tight going into this number. Expect some volatility. We will get in and we will analyze the levels for you. Obviously, we know back in the mid-1430s we've been finding support, but we'll get into that in a second. I first just want to start with ZNGA here. ZNGA actually trading down significantly in the pre-market, down at 219. Last night they came out, cut guidance. The stock gets killed, but I'm just going to analyze the actual tape here for you. If we go back to before they came out, so basically what happens is at 4:02 or 4:45:02, the stock comes out with the news. Nasdaq doesn't halt the stock until 4:45:07. So they're 5 seconds too slow. So basically you can see there's no trades before that. And then at 4:45:02, boom, all the news algos are all over it. They all hit it. And actually it was a few seconds later there's still other. So you had 5 seconds here of trading going on before the stock got halted. I mean, what's the point to halting it 5 seconds after the news?
I mean, wasn't that one of the arguments of why the Kraft thing? I mean, did they say that the circuit breakers were in place, but they're not? I mean, shouldn't they be electronically tied that just shut things down? I'm not really following.
Well, you've got to know when the news is coming out, and they've got to halt ahead of the news. If you're going to halt the stock at all, a lot of times they don't halt it, so don't halt it then. But a lot of times they do halt them ahead of the news, but make sure you halt it ahead of the news, not after the news, because all these trades went off, all these people basically got picked off by, and it's not all high-frequency news algorithms. It was 5 seconds, so a few of these could have even been humans profiting from this. I don't know. Sometimes they will come out and bust these trades. I did not see a bust go by. They will print that on the tape. I didn't see it go by on the tape last night, but maybe I missed it. So you can email me if you did see these trades got busted afterwards. But looks like somebody made some money, because obviously after that the stock opens at 405 and just proceeds to go straight down until where we are right now, which is down at 219. So somebody got short 281 all the way down to 275, and then the stock got halted. So information arbitrage, that is called.
Yeah, 217 has been the low in the pre-market, not getting much of a bounce off this. Over 250,000 shares traded. Good support at 0, I guess.
Good support at 0. Facebook is down in sympathy with this move. Down 21.32 is where it's trading right now after closing 21.94. Stocks trade 150,000 shares too, so looks like Facebook is going to be a little bit weaker here this morning.
Yeah, you got a low of 21.22 in the pre-market. You've gotten a little bounce off this. Obviously, we ran into a wall here at the 22.50 level over the last 4 days. So if it can mount a rally, we'll look for that level. And then going back, you really don't have good support until the 5-day low of 20.50.
that whole $20 psychological area is key too. I don't think you're going to see a pullback, and you never know. Maybe some people come in and use this as a buying opportunity in Facebook. I feel like the sentiment is a little bit better than it was a month ago in Facebook. So maybe some people come in, use this as a buying opportunity. Let's go back to the overall market so we can highlight a few key levels here ahead of the jobs number. We are trading 1458 right now, but we've been saying this whole mid 1430s. You've found some great support down there.
Yeah, I didn't even wasn't even able to reach that yesterday. I guess the numbers on the upside are a little bit easier to identify. Currently trading right above Thursday's high, which was 57.75. So we'll keep an eye on that level. Above that, you have 62.25, which is the 10-day high, and then the high of the move at 1468. So those are your big resistance levels on the upside. Coming back on the downside, you have the close at 55.75 to the low during the glowback section at 54.50. I don't think you need to get your selling shoes on until we take out 14.52.50. That's a couple points below the current low.
But we could see some major volatility here. I think it's been obviously quiet the last couple of days. We've had this slow little march up into the number. If this number is disappointing, we could be back down in that whole 1435 area again. Don't kid yourself. So I'd expect a little bit of volatility. If the number's okay, though, you never know. We might take out that 1468 and start marching higher. I wouldn't want to be short above 1468.
But what about getting short at 14?
Well, that's a different story. So you can always, I always love the double tops. And you put those double tops in place, always a good thing. Like look at ExxonMobil. We've talked about this so many times. This 92.5 level is like a wall. It got up there again yesterday. Tried it 2, 3, 4 times yesterday. Still couldn't take it out. Somebody is dumping a huge piece at 92.5.
Well, you did get the settlement over 92.
Which is good, yeah, exactly. The first time.
Actually, you did have one, I believe. Well, no, you're right. First time you get to set, nope, 92.30 on the 14th you had to settle. So this is the second highest close of the move. With a 92.22 close, you're kind of getting a little running start into that 92.50 level. Hit 92.54 yesterday. After that, it really, really opens up to the upside.
Yeah, if this number is good, this jobs number is good, I think that 92.50 will not hold. I think it will go down today if the jobs number is good. If it's bad, every technical analyst will look back here on the chart later on and say, look at the 92.5, that was just a huge level. So Apple Computer had a little bit of a crappy day again. It was okay off the bat and then turned around and started selling off. Closing kind of weak at 666, but this whole 665 area has had a little bit of support. We get below 665, it just opens right up though.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you do have some minor support below that level. Wednesday's low, 662.63. I'd keep an eye on that. But below that, it really opens up till Tuesday's low, believe it or not, was 650.65. I think what you're seeing on the upside a little bit, we did come off that 700, 705 high, came back down, had over, right around a 50-point sell-off. And now, you're getting the rally up. We're just not quite going up with that same speed that we did before. Above that 674.25 level, which was Thursday's high, you have a little resistance at 676.75. That was Monday's high, but the major resistance for Apple starts at 681 and 682.
Google had a new all-time high there again yesterday, breaking out. The stock is looking good on the charts. It sold off a bit there 2 days ago, started to mount a rally back from the whole 750 area and really hasn't looked back. A nice uptrend it's got going here. I can even draw that for you on the chart. Closed to 768.05, which is an all-time high for the close for Google.
Yeah, just keep moving those sell stops up, folks. We had talked about that 750 level being a real good support. Missed that by like $9 yesterday. So still keeping an eye on that 750.27. That's the 3-day low. It is $18 away from here. But when you have a $770 stock, $18 is not that big of a move. On the upside, who knows, Dennis? You might get me on this one with the 900 versus the 600.
We still got that bet on the go. Microsoft closed actually pretty strong, Joel. Got above that key $30 level. I'll remove this old trend line, but got above this key $30 level that we had been talking about. Had sniffed up there a couple of days ago. We did get a close above 30.03. Can this thing start to get a run now?
It's going to do one of two things, and I don't know if this is going to help our traders at all.
Will they go up or go down? Yeah.
And this thing, of all these stocks, I figure out this one is like the anti-Joel stock. It's either going to hold 30 and rocket north to 30.50, or it's going to open up at 30 and flop and go right down to 29.50. And since I think it's going to have some follow through on the upside, be careful if you're getting long off the open. I wouldn't give it much. If you're playing this long off the open, I'd give it a dime, 11 cents or whatever. But I wouldn't stick around and wait for this thing to go back down to 29.50.
All depends on the jobs number as well.
Yeah,
Everything is going to depend on that. General Electric took out that key number we've been talking about yesterday, 23, held up for 3-4 days here in a row. There's huge institutional selling pressure up there at 23. Finally did take out that block. Trade up at 23.05, and then I think it caught the guys who were playing it for the breakout. I always say the play seems to be lately these breakouts become fake outs. That's exactly what you seen there yesterday when the stock broke out through 23 and then puked all the way down to 22.78 about a half an hour after taking that level out.
Yeah, you didn't quite get the full tractor beam effect when after it was taken out. But then again, you have a stock that trades 40,
Thick.
50 million shares, a thick stock like this. GE has been on a nice run. I mean, you can't dispute the fact. I mean, this is like a parabolic move for it. It was under $21 back at the beginning of September, and now we're knocking on the door at 23. And as I mentioned before on the show and the weekly outlooks, you're kind of getting in that vacuum area back in '08 when the thing swooned down from 25.75 and down, to the $22 level. So it's just trying to work its way back up there.
I do think you've got to be cognizant, though, that 23 seller is gone now, so
Okay.
it is open. So I think that's one thing to think about. If the jobs number, we're going to keep referring to the jobs number, it's so important. If the jobs number is good, I think this thing's off to the races, making new 52-week highs. Let's throw Stern AG under the bus. Hewlett Packard, they downgrade today. Come on, a little bit late to the party here. Where was this downgrade 2-3 days ago? They downgrade it from buy to neutral. Not a lot of help here. I think we should almost start like a series of analysts who are late to the game. Regardless, the stock obviously has had a bad couple of days, but did have this kind of key reversal yesterday. It was down 50 more cents and then turned around, and I think you caught a lot of people. It's been such a violent sell-off from 17.5 all the way down to got down, I think, 14.26. So I think you did catch a little bit of a short squeeze here, and it got up and started flirting and trying to take out that 15 level. Is trading down about 13 cents here this morning on the Stern AG downgrade.
Well, what happened was we had talked about the 14.18 level, which was the low back in March of
I
03.
can't even go back that far on the charts. It only goes to 05.
And so we got near that level, also nice and round number like 14 here, and you got a little bit of a bounce. You have the close right up there near the high. That also coincides with Wednesday's close. So, you can't really think that this thing's going to pop much until it gets over the $15 level. But there's a firm like Stern AG. Do they have to say anything about the stock? If you were that wrong about it, wouldn't you just shut your mouth?
The only thing is, I guess somebody will throw them under the bus if they don't eventually downgrade and the stock ends up going to under $10, let's say. They've still got the buy rating on it, so somebody will, so I think they wanted to get the buy rating off of it. So at least I guess they've got the same opinion I do really overall, but I've had that opinion quite a bit longer that I just think the PC sector is just in shambles. It's so hard to buy these things. You will get short squeezes, you will get bounces, but that overall trend is not your friend in this whole. Fundamentally, technically, there's just no reason to own these in your portfolio. You can say it's got value down here. There's Argus cutting it today too, so not even Stern AG. Argus just cut it to right now as we're speaking. They cut it to hold from buy as well. So everybody's trying to get the buy ratings off this stock. The ratings on the wall here is just not good. Hewlett Packard needs to reinvent themselves, and I don't know if they can do it or not.
Yeah, I bet you they're glad they bought Compaq.
Yeah, remember the Compaq? That's where they got the symbol because it used to be
Yeah.
HWP, and they bought CPQ back, I don't know, 10 years ago, or it has to be, or maybe not, 7 or 8 years ago, anyways. And then they came to the symbol HPQ. But I mean, even before that, though, they were printers. They've always been hardware and always been PC related, and we know what the PC's done. Apple's just eating the lunch and continues to do so. So, and everybody's using their mobile devices now. So I don't even know, like a lot of people aren't even using computers, physical computers anymore. They're surfing the internet on their mobile devices. So it doesn't look fundamentally that great for a stock like Hewlett Packard. But there is value here. I don't know.
Yeah, value in the cash that they have.
Well, that's it. They make a lot of money, but it's a value trap, and that's what a lot of people have been saying. It's what I say too. It seems like a value trap. So Dell's the same story. Stock just continues to drift lower. It's under $10 now at 9.47. I just think if you're looking at these things for a trade, sure. If you're looking at these things for investment, I just don't. In my opinion, they're just not good investments.
You could draw a trend line if you want here. You could draw a trend line off that 2026 high and then connect it with
and
those
Dell
two
or
other,
Hewlett Packard?
Hewlett Packard. Yeah, Dell. When's the last time Dell's traded 20, man? When you, in the
taken me out to the
2000s?
years ago.
Yeah, if you take that 2026 high and then you take those highs at 18.
Oh, you're looking at this one too. The trend's speeding
and
up.
then
I
you
drew
come
too.
down and that kind of nudges that thing over at the 1745 level. So you got a long way to go. But yeah, I'm such an old timer. When I put in Hewlett Packard, I still type in HWP.
HWP. CW, which is Curtiss-Wright, is reducing guidance. They've got a strike happening or something like that. Stock is trading 31.30 right now, down $1.50 on that news. Look at the CW chart. Look at this 33 level. Look how many times it topped out there, just above 33.
Yeah, I did get a one spike to 33.41 October 1st. I think the guy that was selling at 33 must have fell asleep on his desk or
Maybe
something.
we didn't trade that day, and he's like, I'm going to put that in my algo that I've been using to sell the 33 level. Oh, it's not running today. Get that thing running again. We sell every time it gets over 31.
You got a spike down in the pre-market to $30 even. That coincides with all this rejection and the lows that you had on September, early September. So keep an eye on that $30 level. You also have a low on September 4th at 29.60. Coming back on the upside after trading down to 30. Someone's stepped in here at the 31.30 level, but that will only be minor resistance.
Just a couple other quick ones before we close up. I want to highlight Procter & Gamble for you guys, people that are trading, after the number here today. $70, absolutely enormous on this thing. I'm just giving you scenarios because if the jobs number is good, this 70 is absolutely huge on Procter & Gamble. Johnson & Johnson, similar formation up here at the $70 level as well. It's absolutely enormous, starting at $69.75 all the way up to 70. We got institutional sellers littered up there, so the high frequency guys be dumping up in the high 69s on both of those stocks.
Okay, just a possible hypothesis here on the jobs number, since they obviously have a little sneak preview of this information before it comes out. Obviously, things aren't getting all that much better as far as how this number is going to show, or else they wouldn't have made such a brouhaha about QE3.
It's so hard to speculate, though, on whether it's going to be good, whether it's going to be bad. So, and then the market can always this market seems to always find the good in everything. So maybe if a number off the bat doesn't look that great, I still think the path of least resistance is higher. Until we get below this whole 1430 area, I think you just got to stay bullish. So maybe you get a chance, though. Maybe if the stocks sell off here, maybe you get a chance to pick them up. But I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if the stocks break out too. It's hard to do technicals when there's big fundamentals coming out like that.
Correct. All right, that's our show here before the big unemployment number. We hope we provide you guys for some good information to trade during this number, and we'll be back with you on Monday.